Hello and welcome to our English news coming to you from Canal Algérie. First, the top stories of the news. The Intra-African Trade Fair is approaching with multiple investment opportunities for the economic operators coming to Algiers from the four corners of the continent. Journalists remain the main target of the Zionist war machinery, with the main objective to hide the cruel reality on the ground. And we wrap up our news by discovering the coastal city of Bijaya from the sky, with paragliders flying over an idyllic scenery. First in our news, Algeria is set to host the 2025 Intra-African Trade Fair, a landmark event that could redefine Algeria's role in continental integration and open the door to new opportunities for shared growth across Africa. Melissa Lila Balaman explains.
Algiers is preparing to host the Intra-African Trade Fair, a high-profile meeting point for Africa's business community that could signal a shift in Algeria's economic direction. The event is expected to attract key decision-makers, industry leaders, and investors from across the continent, one whose unity and economic synergy have long been central to Algeria's vision. In recent years, Algeria has stepped up its efforts to fully align with the momentum of Africa's economic integration, its accession to the African Continental Free Trade Area, the diversification of its trade towards the continent, and the growing number of economic forums with African countries all reflect a clear determination to open up further.
Les pays africains traduisent une claire volonté d'ouverture de la part de ce pays-là.
Positioned at the meeting point of Europe, the Mediterranean, and sub-Saharan Africa, Algeria plans to build on its varied industrial landscape, rich energy reserves, and its stated ambition to strengthen its engagement with African markets, particularly through the African Continental Free Trade Area.
La ZLECA repose sur trois piliers essentiels.
The African Continental Free Trade Area is built on three key pillars: trade liberalization, investment facilitation, and stronger economic cooperation, all guided by a vision of continental integration. The Intra-African Trade Fair serves as a practical tool to advance these three areas simultaneously. By bringing together in one place all the players in the value chain, producers, buyers, financiers, and public and private sector leaders, it creates the conditions to turn opportunities that might otherwise remain theoretical into tangible results.
Cette foire permet de matérialiser des opportunités qui autrement allaient rester donc théoriques.
Intra-African Trade Fair 2025 may prove to be the launchpad for deeper African integration, unlocking concrete business prospects and fostering shared economic growth across the continent.
To another story now, Major General Mohammed Saleh Ben Bisha, Secretary General of the Ministry of National Defense, inaugurated the new headquarters of the Ministry of National Defense's Central Field Directorate in Algiers on behalf of the Army General Said Shingriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, Chief of Staff of the People's National Army. Melissa Leila Balaman once again.
On behalf of Army General Said Shingriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, Major General Mohammed Saleh Ben Bisha, Secretary General of the Ministry of National Defense, presided over the inauguration ceremony of the new headquarters of the Ministry's Central Fuel Directorate in Algiers, within the 1st Military Region. The inauguration was attended by the head of the Logistics Organization Department, the Central Fuel Director of the Ministry of National Defense, as well as directors and senior officials from the Central Services of the People's National Army General Staff and the Ministry of National Defense. Following the inauguration, the Secretary General of the Ministry of National Defense received a comprehensive briefing on the Directorate before touring the various facilities of the new headquarters. In his meeting with the staff and personnel of the Central Fuel Directorate, the Secretary General highlighted the Directorate's crucial role in across the entire national territory, ensuring a high level of operational readiness. At the close of the visit, the Secretary General signed the Directorate's guest book.
Still with domestic news, the Education Ministry announced that the new school year has been postponed to September 21st for pupils throughout the country. As for the administrative staff, they will resume on September the 7th and teachers on September the 14th. To the international scene, and precisely to the Palestinian territories where journalists are the main target of the Zionist army. More than 230 reporters have been killed since the outbreak of this devastating war. Despite worldwide condemnation, genocide is with the sole objective to hide the cruel reality on the ground. More details in the following report. Following the premeditated massacre of 6 Palestinian journalists in the Gaza Strip, many organizations have spoken out to condemn the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and the United Nations Human Rights Office denounce a violation of international humanitarian law and call for an independent and impartial investigation. For Reporters Without Borders, the situation is urgent. The network calls for a meeting of the UN Security Council to address the massacre of media personnel.
اليوم كان يوما صادما ويوما مأساويا.
This is a shocking and tragic day in the history of our people. Truth and speech are once again targeted. Here in front of the doors of a Shifa hospital, Palestinian journalists were at their posts reporting the suffering of our people. Today, as you can see, a deep sense of sadness prevails among all journalists, and more broadly among the Palestinian people in the face of this heinous crime. The European Union also condemned this attack, recalling that journalists are protected by international law. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres protested against this massacre of journalists, while reaffirming that media professionals must be protected and allowed to carry out their work without being intimidated, injured or killed. Following this massacre, which cost the lives of 6 journalists and an entire team, the number of journalists killed by the occupation stands at 238, to which are added hundreds and wounded, bedridden in what remains of their ruined homes. Despite these massacres, Palestinian journalists do not weaken and continue to report the genocide and ethnic cleansing committed by the Zionist entity against the Palestinian people for more than 22 months. With the same file, the Palestinian cause is gaining ground on a daily basis. Huge rallies and marches are being held across the world, urging the UN organizations and world leaders to end this horrendous war and put an end to the savage blockade that negatively impacted the daily living conditions of civilians subject to malnutrition and famine, notably over the past few months. Back to Algeria, perched between sea and sky, BJ's paragliding scene offers thrill seekers safe flights, stunning views and an unforgettable taste of freedom. Let's discover more with Hisham Daou and Melissa Lila Balaman.
Suad, Walid, Fahim and Koso are 4 instructors from a paragliding club based in Al-Qas, Béjaïa province. When weather conditions are right for free flight, they guide thrill seekers eager for an adrenaline rush.
Donc le monsieur, je suis en train de le préparer.
I'm getting this gentleman ready, fitting him with the harness and helmet so he can take off. He'll be my passenger, sitting in front. We call this the harness. He'll be clipped to me with these carabiners. I've been instructor for about 4 years now. It takes several levels of training to reach the instructor stage.
Ici à peu près 4 ans. Voilà.
With seasoned instructors by their side, participants can both learn the basics of paragliding and enjoy unforgettable moments in complete safety.
Bon, la demande qu'il y en a d'un peu partout.
We get requests from all over, here in Algeria, and from tourists. People love the feeling they get when they experience flight. Safety is also key. We use equipment designed specifically for this, and we even carry a reserve parachute. All of this motivates us to keep improving and developing the sport.
Ça avancer un peu et essayer de développer la discipline.
Launching from Bejaya's takeoff sites, paragliding enthusiasts can soak in a breathtaking scenery.
Ok, c'est bon, on accroche. 1, 2, on va aller avancer, avancer. Bien, allez. Non, non, allez, cours, cours, cours. Allez, cours, 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 cours.
Alors, meilleure expérience avec Koso.
I had the best experience flying with Koso. We have a panoramic view where you can take in the city and the sea. Bejaya is a sought-after paragliding destination thanks to its spectacular landscapes and cliffs overlooking the Mediterranean. The area provides ideal conditions for the sport with steady winds and easy-to-reach launch points. A true playground for adrenaline lovers.
With this amazing experience, we come to the end of our news bulletin. Tomorrow, another day, other news. Keep tuning to our channel programs. Take care. Bye-bye for now.